What's good? It's inspirational. I know I haven't done too many Tower God videos, but this time we have a collaboration with the one and only Nya D Hemmingz. So introduce yourselves, my man.
What's going on? How you doing? It's good to be here, talking about the greatness, Tower of Gold. Yeah, I'm mostly, I guess, Tower God YouTuber and One Piece, but I
and One
I
Piece.
like all kinds of things. But yeah, I'm like there's probably not many things you could come to me and I wouldn't know about it. To be honest,
True.
I'm old.
A jack of all trades, as you can say. I know you don't like Jack from One Piece. I saw those tweets. Dude, it was funny. It was funny.
Oh, roasting him gives me life. But yeah,
So I know that you've done a Elaine video already, right? About a year ago. I've watched through your stuff, and just to I'm a big fan of Nye, so you guys should definitely check out some of the stuff. It's much more long form. You kind of see kind of the rationale behind his thought process as he interprets the content that he watches and reads. So definitely, I think the first video that I watched from you was the season 3 video, how season 3 has been so far for you.
Okay.
And it was so raw and like it felt refreshing seeing someone just talk about, why they love Tower God to begin with and how it's kind of morphed, especially when we were at that time at the beginning of season 3 with all the canines and the cage.
It's just I think like not to make the intro too long. The more I care about it, the harder I'm going to be on it in a sense. Like,
I feel that.
It's because I love Tower God so much. I expect so much better that I was just decide. I'm like, you can't lower yourself to this. You're too good for this, right? So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the main event, Kaiser. She's your number one, right? Or sorry, Po Bia Elaine. Either one works, right? We'll probably interchange between Kaiser and Elaine.
I don't have any consistency. I have been saying Elaine more, but you'll catch the one time. It's like and then when Kaiser came, it's like, oh shit, Elaine. So like she's
what do you love about her, dude?
She is honestly best girl for me. Honestly, I always say Anak is the joke, but Anak is one of my favorite Tower God characters. Like that part is not me kidding. Like Anak is like top 3. Like I like her a lot. The thing about Elaine that I really, really appreciate was, I'm gonna talk about a specific moment where I understood the character. And it's when Ineta is about to die, the fight against Rand. And by the way, Macheni's line about taking the hit because you can't dodge it and just hit it with something stronger that line is so raw.
It's raw, dude.
She's like, you don't even try dodging these Arie, so just take the hit. I'm like, yo, what is this? But,
he's like, defense. You don't need that. Like
dodging. Come on, man. Lightning out. But yeah. So like he's dying or whatever, and like we know the story about how her family treated her. Like we'll probably dive into it more, so I won't go specific right now. And she just understood what he was going through. And that moment of her being like, instead of selling him off, I'll make you one of the 10 bosses because I think your talents are worth it. Showing like she will not kind of stoop to that level her family did, but just kind of selling him to slavery or something like that. I was like, that's so powerful that I just became a fan of that moment. It wasn't even any other thing, like the techniques, like the wolf shit is cool. Like I like her ability to teleport with it. Its teeth are strong enough to break through rankers, even back then in season 2 when it doesn't stop bleeding and stuff. Like all that stuff is awesome. She's beautiful. Yeah. Her design is amazing. I love her, but that moment was the moment for me.
Yeah, and I think in that moment she kind of saw herself in him because she says, if I were your family, I would spend any amount of money to get you out of there. Yeah. Right? That was so beautiful and poetic.
And those are the scenes I think people need to pay attention to. Those are
definitely. Definitely. I think my favorite part, and it was only until then that I truly loved the arc, was when Elaine didn't even know her own name.
Ooh. Like it's been that long, and she's like, oh, like she just discarded it. Yeah,
she threw away her identity for the sake of her family. She played the role of Kaiser, which is also, an emperor, right? She played this fake Kaiser, and it took Bam and what was her name, the Alphine, to truly find herself again.
Yeah, and that was just powerful. And then like obviously like I feel like it's weird to say that this is payoff, but like seeing her face, and you're like, she's gorgeous. I'm like, oh damn. I was like, oh
yeah. It's just like okay, like
it's like I can definitely get behind this. So
we were those rankers later when she was selling herself. We were like, who is this? Like, what's good?
Christ. But yeah, she's dope, and like the fact that she was a princess candidate to me means that she had like with at least within towered habitants. I kind of started specifying this because obviously it's not an irregular, so
Yeah.
you're just never gonna be that special. But as a tower inhabitant, being a jihad
At the age of 14 too, which is really young, because Androsi was probably at least 100 or more before she got her candidacy, right?
possible.
Maybe I'm misremembering that, but
That's possible, but I think it had to do with she's the the Grey Wolf branch. Is that what
yeah, the Great Wolf branch.
right? And maybe she was just that talented because with her anima and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not entirely
Yeah.
sure, but man, that test that they did for her was effed up. But I think it was
That
important.
was so messed up.
But low key, like if I'm coming from that side of the army, which is like the jihad, blah blah, like that's a test.
Yeah,
that I
like
would-
it makes sense. It's a fair test to give. I think what was kind of like off for me was that the parents or people wouldn't coach her on that,
yeah.
right? Like if Elaine was really their like true opportunity to free their family, they should prep her to the best of their ability to tackle on any test that Jihad's army would throw at them. So I felt that was really like off-putting for me that they wouldn't prepare Elaine. Granted, like if there was a little moment where it was just like, oh, like we told you about this, but she's a child, so she's gonna fall in love anyways. That's understandable.
Because the thing is like she's the child. Like you guys are the ones who technically are supposed to be guiding her. But I think what happened was just like we have a talented kid. We like, and it's just like you just kind of put all your hopes and faith into that child, but you're not actually doing anything to really prepare them for the trials and tribulations they're going to face down the road. You're just banking on their talent and their potential.
And we kind of like see the repercussions of that, especially when Kaiser talks about how she is on that glass ceiling, right? And she's looking down on everyone that's ordinary. What's interesting is that Kaiser actually thought Bam had the same exact childhood as her because of how talented he is, but boy, was she wrong.
Yeah, not even
close. He's just like, well, if you're this powerful and talented, of course you would probably also get loved by everyone around you. Just like, no, I was in a cave. Like,
I was just looking at rock.
yeah.
At looking at the ceiling.
I was just waiting, chilling, like.
I was cooling. I think I was dead before, but yeah, she's a special character. Like, I want to ask you though. Like, I know you kind of said that you didn't like the mask and design, but like initially when Kaiser was introduced, like, what were your thoughts on the character? Or
So I felt that there was no way to have the same presence as White or Harlequin, but she did command, or in that case it was a he because we didn't know that Kaiser was female.
I assumed. Okay, I was saying.
You assumed? Okay, I had no idea. I saw the design. I was just like, I mean, like, dude, it's kind of fresh, I guess. Like, I couldn't pinpoint it.
It's very androgynous at first, but I'm like, I think it's a girl. That was just
because like the thing with SIU is like he always draws all his characters as androgynous. So like I don't like want to assume it just because SIU loves to troll around that a lot.
I think with this kind of stuff, I generally I don't know what it is. I have good instincts with this. It's not
that's good,
it's
dude.
not based on any like logic. It's just like I think that's a girl. Like I haven't been right all the time. I think I got Suzuya wrong. I think I thought Suzuya was the girl.
Wait, so you thought that Yu Hassan was a dude all along?
I might have not made up my mind.
Sometimes
that happens where it's just like I don't know. I have no idea. It just existed. Like what is a Vanko? I don't know. I've seen him switch around he, she, they. All right, a Vanko is just a being, non-binary.
I mean, we see the like true form after what, like years of setup, right?
So she was in the gym.
We got that setup.
So she was in the gym. like I don't
Yeah,
know.
dude.
But yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to derail.
No, all good. I think I liked everything that Kaiser represented, especially with the themes of what the name station is. And it kind of goes back to, how SIU always starts the arc with not the main characters, but the supporting cast with some powerful lines. Because we started this arc when Rand takes out one of the name bosses immediately, right? And his line of saying, stealing other people's names to live their lives. what meaning could something like that possibly have? And then he goes on to say right after, no name will ever suit someone who doesn't even value his own name.
But Hawkeye, I miss that guy so much. He is.
Rand is so cocky, but you know, he goes straight to the point.
There's truth in what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's harsh and blunt, but like that's how I like my delivery, anyways. I don't like sugar-coated stuff. Like
and like the role that Rand has, right? He's the inferior sibling in this case, right? So he knows exactly how it feels to not be the main form of attention.
He's got his own struggles within the Quinn family too, right? So
exactly,
like, a lot of these people, it's not perfect, and it just sucks because she was like a beloved person. She had to fall from grace because of one very human moment, basically. You know, she had feelings. I'm sorry, she had feelings. Like, goddamn.
Kind of going off of your most recent video, talking about values and not really like fake lore, but unnecessary world building. Yeah. I feel like SIU really does fall for that a lot, kind of adding stuff that we don't really care about. But I felt one thing that he did add that was really nice was the idea of the branch family itself, the 20 branch families, because that's playing such a huge role in the Nest arc currently.
Yes.
Because I kind of see the wing, I think it's like the wind bird or whatever, that the branch family guy has. It kind of reminded me a lot of Kaiser's wolf, with the same kind of spirit animal or anima.
Oh, for sure. Like, I imagine she would have became the leader of that, whatever. Of
the wolf gray or whatever, yeah.
And then
what's cool is that I think if we do get more chapters, hopefully Kaiser gets to do something because the boy that probably played her is one of the branch family heads, one of the 20.
Now, I had never considered that. That's amazing, and I hope that's now that you've spoken into existence. This is the energy we're moving with. But I definitely was like, I was okay. We're going to the Nest, Po Bia. I'm like, Elaine's gotta have an important role to play here.
Right.
I could understand her being outclassed in terms of power or something, but first of all, you can't tell me she's completely useless there. There are other regulars there. She's strong. She was a princess candidate. She has
definitely.
I was with the wolf's name, Findril, whatever. But like she has
Fenrir or something. Yeah.
Right. She has all that too. But this could also be like one of those things where like I don't necessarily need to come out and be like, all right, I'm gonna just like take on 100 people. There could be a moment where some important figure of the local Bia family comes out and says something. Could be the guy you just said. And she
then she loses her stuff. Like
there's that, or like she comes out and completely denounces that she's like I cut ties with the family. Like fuck y'all.
Oh,
like something like that.
I like that too.
Like that could also be powerful. Like she could also go crazy and then by the end of it be like, I'm done with this family. Like, I don't have anything to do with you. Like I'm gonna change the tower or whatever. Like and then maybe that gives her a different type of resolve. Because right now she's traveling with them or whatever. But like, what's really her?
But she's just chilling, right? Like
what's she here for? Like what is your purpose? What goals and motivations do you have? So like this can.
She doesn't have anything like that. All she does is sip some juice, scare the little snake dude.
Oh god, I hate Wool.
He's so annoying, dude.
That juice panel was I needed it though.
Yeah, facts.
I needed that juice panel, but like I think she needs like a driving force for her own character, or she just kind of here for no reason. Like it could, even if it's very similar to Yihwa Ella, like she wants to reform the Yeon family because like she knows, and especially with what happened with Angel, now she knows about the atrocities some of those guys come and do in this area. It's like
that Angel fight is my favorite art fight of Tower of God, hands down.
Really,
but yeah,
I was going to ask you about that because I actually think in terms of choreography, this one with Bam and Kaiser is because like the needle inventory and all the things she's
that's true.
Like, the way
that's true. I think
bobbing.
It's kind of like how you harped in your old video, like the choreography of Bam, like maneuvering and using his feet and everything was done really well. But like the flames and the tension between Angel and Enwa, like her becoming the flame that she was so afraid of. I love that moment. At the beginning of the Hell Train.
We wasted one opportunity with her because she was in a trance, kind of. So
That's
she wasn't receptive to Angel's like desperate last pleas and whatnot. Like she couldn't. Really
No, fair point. Fair
that was
point.
my only issue with it, but I agree with you. That's a very important moment. I love that moment.
Like you know how like SIU's flames were kind of whack, like they were pink or whatnot at the beginning of season 2. Like it really got fleshed out with that fight, and of course, like now his flames are really good, especially with Evan Kill, who is like the flame host. So
Yeah.
that was like the turning moment for me. That I like whenever I read that part, I am like hyped and ready because what comes after that is that really like pissed off murderous bomb on top of the stairs.
Yep. We're not going
God,
anywhere.
what a moment. But anyways,
Rachel, you're not going anywhere.
Elaine's fight.
That's scary. But yeah, I do think that this fight was probably my favorite from a choreography standpoint. It's not my favorite fight, but
I think every time I read this arc, and I read this little like fight sequence like a couple hours ago, it gives me chills if the anime would nail it down. And I know how you feel about the anime, and I also do not enjoy the anime, but whenever I read this part, like just picturing it in my head and watching it gives me chills. Now, will they nail it? Probably not, but
but at this point that's all all I really need from them. Like if you could just get a lot of the moments that I care about right, even if everything else in the episode is garbage, I'll take it because I'll just look.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I think. What do you have the anime rated as out of 10?
Like 4.
I don't know if you a 4. Yeah, that's what I have it. I had it as a 5 at first, and then like
I'm being too
since
nice.
it's been a couple months.
I'm probably being nice, but yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I just like not to go into it. Again, my biggest issue was the changes that I didn't understand. 'Cause I didn't think they made sense. Like the Black March, stopping time and blam.
Stopping time,
like,
yeah.
Lusted in the first season, gonna like kill Haru. And I'm like, no, that's completely bought.
And then there was Ghost kind of like freaking out.
I don't even know if I got that far. That because I didn't watch after episode 5. I was out.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
I was out.
So essentially, what happens is they make Ghost like mentally linked to Rachel. So when Rachel gets hurt by Ho, Ghost like freaks out and then vanishes.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It was really dumb.
But aside from that, I think that they've completely stripped everything that makes Tower God special. It doesn't feel special.
Exactly.
To me, it comes across as a very run-of-the-mill anime. Now, this is supposed to be some webtoon, some special different thing. This is just that was my biggest issue.
And especially with season 1, with such a strong foundation with its narrative, like all they had to do was beef up the visuals to a modern standpoint, and they just rushed and rushed and rushed, and it kind of just all got jumbled together. But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it right now.
Elaine.
Any webtoon adaptations, but yes, Kaiser.
That's true. So on top of the choreography of Elaine's fight, I felt that Bam's kind of introspective thoughts were also just as powerful.
I agree. Because they were kind of an ideology battle in a sense too. Because he knew what was going on because of Alfine, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. He knew everything going on. Like he knew her name. He knew that she forgot it. So he was trying to kind of get it out of her.
Yeah. I think I was very impressed with what she could do. And part of me always felt that like all the weaponry she has and uses in the Name Station were just things she uses there, and it's not really consistent with what her natural fighting style is.
Exactly, kind of how what Ineta says, like once she's stripped away from all that, her true beauty shines.
Yes.
And we haven't seen that yet.
And that's what I'm waiting for. Like
and it's kind of crazy, just like how amazing she was in this arc isolation, and that was barely a scratch of what she really is.
Which is why I'm waiting. Like I need, come on, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're on.
I mean, we'll be waiting for a while.
But yeah, I just feel like she's a character that has so much, she has so much potential utility moving forward. That I just feel like it's a waste if this is really the extent of what she's gonna be. Just like every once in a while, she's like be on the ship. Just like I'm around with this juice box. Like
I'm chilling.
She's got to be more important than that. I think he needs to truly decide which of the regulars from the first 2 seasons and whatnot he needs to just be like, all right, like
this is the main crew. This is what we're moving forward with.
Candy, Barrel, whatever. Some of them, you just gotta go. Like, just stop it. Like,
yeah, right. I actually really liked when what was it, Sachi and that little group like actually split off and did their own thing, right? Because they're not important in the main like context of the story. Like, they're here for Hell Train. They overstayed past Hell Train, and then they finally left.
Wasn't even strong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude, Sachi was supposed to be top 3 of D rank, and he was just like, yo, I grow some vines, like
he's mid. You gave up an eye for this?
Yeah, like
that's what you gave up an eye for.
That was the thing, like with SIU and spells in general. It always baffles me what he's trying to do with spells.
I
know he has like some framework for it, but like the execution of it just keeps getting wishy-washy.
And
like,
Bam exists, so I just don't understand what the point.
Yeah.
Because you could have this really dope, complicated spell, and Bam just like, nope.
He's just like, oh, sorry, were you asking me a question, Riddler? Like, like
yeah, fucking Levy Korean Riddler with his damn Scantron. Like, come on, man. Multiple choice questions. So he's just like, huh? It's like, what? It's like, I don't know.
Excuse me?
But like, I have so much hope for her moving forward, man. Like, that's I think that's the thing that's bothering me. It's like, I just like her coming to the name hunt station with the new fit, with the blue. Hold on, with the little thing on her head, the little tiara thing. I don't know what they're called. The
oh my god, dude.
She was looking crazy. But like, oh, you came to just bite the button of this guy? Like, come on, like, do more, like. But then I saw her in season 3, and I'm like, okay, like I'm seeing her, so I'm like, it's giving me hope, and I'm like, this is the arc where I felt like she needed to come and do something, even if it's minor. Like I said.
But there's so much going on in the nest to begin with, right? Like, there's too much going on.
I don't know, man. Couldn't Tsubisu are still useful? She can be useful, man.
I mean, even Rack is useless. Like,
I don't know what they're doing with Rack. My poor guy. I was gonna say this with the mask.
Poor man's getting dragged.
Looking back at the mask a little bit, I was looking for a specific line, but like,
yeah,
the lips actually change expression. I don't know if I remember.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I remember that. You'll see sometimes when she's cocky, the mask lips are actually smiling, and sometimes it's neutral, and sometimes it's kind of.
Oh, dude, that's kind of creepy.
Right? It kind of reminds me of like how Spider-Man's eyes emote. How he's doing. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I didn't notice that. I still don't like the mask, but that is a cool detail. I didn't really notice that before.
What are your thoughts on the other 10 bosses? Of course, like Ineta or the Arie guy is the peak of the bosses, right? But what about the other like 9?
I'm gonna be real with you. I hardly remember them. I really do.
Exactly, dude. They were very underwhelming.
Yeah, like. I feel like there's like
and granted, like this arc is also pretty short, right? It's only like 20 chapters or so, but still, like.
And sometimes, I don't know if authors realize this. It doesn't work with me with things that I really like and care about because I'm going to pay attention to detail and revisit it. But sometimes when you end an arc, or even a little bit post arc with something kind of crazy, you can kind of overshadow what just happened because then it's like Caracas here pulling up. Right?
Yeah.
And after like now everyone's like, oh my god, Neiman Station, when Caracas, like, you know, like they kind of skip over the actual Neiman Station. I've seen that a lot. So
like the giant fight just between Yuri and Caracas completely outshadows everything that happened in the name hunt. Like,
to the point, like I remember people didn't remember like Rand was injured and her like, oh yeah, that did happen around this time. Like, so I
mean, the thing for me is like if I don't know a character's name, that means I don't really care about them. Like, I have trouble remembering names, but I'll remember names of people that I care about.
At the very least, if I don't remember the name, I'll remember your design and what you did. Like, the guy did this, you know, and something like, oh, Michael, yes, Michael. I'll remember, like, that's important. Sometimes I just don't, there's characters that I've looked at on rereads, I'm like, I have no idea who this is. Who is it?
There's one in season 3, none of the dogs I care about, except, of course, the 3 brothers, but none of the others I care about. It was the person in the second wall when they were reviving Cha, I think. Mm-hmm. It was like the dude that was leading the charge in that rebellion. He had a fresh fit. He kind of had like a Ghostbuster fit. I don't even remember his name, but he was my favorite character of season 3 so far.
Oh, listen, the worst thing he ever did was name some of them Venti Tall Grande. I'm like, bro, you went to Starbucks.
He was like, yeah, like I was at Starbucks, and I was like, yeah, let's make Paul's crew that.
And I was like, come on, dog.
Like, Tall was scary.
Yeah.
he drew the eyes kind of like moving with emotion when like Tall showed up. I was frightened. I was just like, dude, this is gonna be a sick fight. And then obviously Bam just washes him, but
Yeah.
like
That's how it goes.
that's how it is. That's how it is.
I remember my friends were very excited when the Mad Dog came back. Yagara Baga.
And then he got completely.
But I feel like people forgot what he did to Elliot. He washed him.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like I'm like he's not like what Bam was just doing, right? Like he doesn't stand a chance. It's like he just like,
exactly.
Well, anywho, I was gonna ask you this
real
quick. With regards to Elaine, like moving forward, like what do you expect to see from her? At least what do you want? Maybe I'll expect because I don't know what he's gonna do.
What do I want? I think it kind of comes to what we were talking about is she finds a purpose for what she wants to do with her life, right? Like she wanted to pay respects to Bam's master. He was the one that bought her out. Yeah. And now he's trapped or dead, or not dead, but he's trapped in the nest. So what does she want to do? Who does she want to live up for? Just because she has her name doesn't mean it has value if you don't do anything with your name, right?
Precisely.
I don't know what I want from her. I just want more of her, to be honest.
That is fair.
But that's like asking a lot because, everyone wants more of some character with such a huge cast that Tower God is.
I'm sorry, guys. We don't need Masang. Get her out of here. I don't like her. Get her out of here. I don't care if she's improving. She's weak.
most of Sweet and Sour does not need to exist.
At least
yes, I was sad that they were dead, but that's the point, right? They're supposed to die.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, Masachi and thing left. I don't remember the guy's name. I can't remember his name with the gray hair. I think I want to say, I don't know.
Daniel Hatchcliffe or whatever his name is.
No, isn't that
the Soul Hunter?
Isn't that the guy who liked the girl on the train? Not him. I don't think.
Oh, that was Boro. I'm pretty sure.
Boro's what I'm thinking about. He was the one who could read weaponry or whatever, right?
Yeah. That was fresh.
Where did that ability go? That didn't amount to anything. It's just if you're not even gonna try, just get him out of here, please. Her beating Purple Eye Brothers, WTF, whatever is. I don't get these out of here. They're not important. I don't want to see this. I'm sorry, because I feel like if he could just cut the fat, and then we just focus on the characters that matter. We can get somewhere. Anak matters.
Exactly. I want to know more about Wagner, right?
I thought season 2 was really be about him, Return of the Prince, right?
It was for 30 chapters.
Yeah, and then it's anyways, bam. So
he's like, oh, Bam's back, let's go.
But anywho, this arc I already explained what I want her to do. I want her to at least confront her family in some shape or form. Whatever, I don't want that to be. It could be demonstrative. I renounce you, whatever. But I just want her to be a valuable teammate moving forward. Part of me wants,
and I'm pretty sure. What was it this nest arc, right? I'm pretty sure Po Bia is getting washed. The entire family is getting upended. So Elaine will have a chance to really put her place. Because I feel whether she wants to be part of the family or completely destroy the family, this is her time to do it.
Yeah. Because there's a small part of me that's we already have 2 people with Bam who kind of already want to become the family leader.
Yeah.
Or at least help reform with Yihwa and Kun.
I mean, the funny thing is Enwa is still a hostage.
I know. I didn't like that, by the way, because I remember the blog post oh, her flames could put Rand to shame and blah blah.
Yeah.
And season 2 comes back and just oh, she got washed by some nobody. So I'm come on, bro, what is this?
I want to talk about this more later, not in this one, but SIU's handle of just hostages is terrible.
I don't know if I've ever thought about it like that, but you might be right.
Right, Bam is so fickle between whether he wants to save hostages or he doesn't, right? We have his master, which of course he cares about, and he's doing his best. He's willing to throw away everyone just to fight him. But he also claims that he cares about his teammates in Enwa, and he completely forgot about her.
Does he know Ak rappers there are dead yet? He hasn't been.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He still doesn't know that.
It's just I don't know, man.
Now, will he even do anything about it? I don't think so anymore because
I feel him knowing now, what is that? What's the point?
He doesn't do anything now. Yeah.
The time for that to happen is past. But
Like him and White are pretty chill, even though he hates White. They're chill. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're all underlings at this point, so let's just keep it real.
so SIU talked about in a blog post how the name hunt was to show what happens when rankers intervene in regular areas.
Okay.
How do you think he kind of handled it within this arc? Did he actually succeed in showing us that?
I would say in some ways, like for sure, with the little pyramid scheme and the money and having her do what she did there on that floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like you could see that ranker intervention and whatnot, which is why they probably just want the regulars to kind of do their own thing, like stay away from it. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it was actually no, because there were a lot of those scragglers and stuff that were just trapped there with no name and stuff, looking for someone to come help them and save them. So no, actually, I think he did a good job with it. It wasn't as egregious as something as I think I would see. Like I think if we see it again, it's gonna be much worse. Much more maybe like straight up like slavery and stuff like that. I think we're gonna see more egregious things, and especially depending on the family. But I think he did a good job showing that, like, because they're so much more like money oriented and more powerful and stuff. They could just kind of just completely invalidate the entire floor. I like that actually. I didn't
Exactly.
I remember that he said that. I forgot that he did write that in the blog post. I remember reading that. I stopped taking
it's
those
interesting.
too seriously.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, the blog post is something I stopped taking too seriously. Solely because I feel like he could say something and then literally in the next chapter completely show me something that did not align with what he just said in the blog post. But
That's true. And like I only started following the blog post like heavily with season 3, because I had like binge read it like my first time, reread multiple times, but I just didn't know the blog post existed. And then by the time I knew about them, I read them all in like one entire reread. So that's not really that helpful without the context of what he's talking about. Yeah. So like while I was reading these arcs, I was looking at the blog post and they kind of align, not really, but I mean I'm grateful that he at least shares his ideas, because we get to see more of what he thinks, whether he contradicts himself or whether he goes off tangent with how he goes with it.
He took me the F out when he said, "This is the time when you give your character plot armor." And I said, "Get this? Writing? What did you just get this out of my..." I was offended when he said that. I was like, "Come on, man." He just says some things that take me out sometimes, or I can see how much he sees things differently than I do, other people do. So, which is interesting. I don't hate the blog post or anything. I just don't take him. I just don't take him seriously anymore. I just go off with that. Like me saying Endorsey is more talented than Bam is not a line you'll ever hear me say again. Despite me having said that in the blog post and me having proof, it's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
I agree.
Because you could go back to the hidden floor where she figures out her Shinsu quality quicker,
faster,
and Bam.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so that's consistent, but it's just not true. Like
Bomb's like, oh, here's an orb, like.
Yeah, and then it's just like, sometimes he says stuff. I'm like, that's just cap, and I don't even take it seriously. But I still read them for the most part. But,
I feel like there's other ways that he's shown how rankers kind of intervene with the rules of the regulars, especially with the train station, and how Jihad just literally pulled up. It was just like, nah, we're not having any of this. Like, my regulars here are gonna come through, and you're about to get played. Even though he got played in the end, but
yeah, and I would even say just a little bit, like not too much, probably just at least if I remember correctly, related to the Yeon family, the flower of Zanya.
yeah, the pink, the pink thing.
So I believe it was the 20th floor. When Urek was in the thing, whatever. Like like harvesting those whatever. Like that too. Like you could see that little bit of intervention. Like they didn't ruin the whole floor, but they at least had an operation going.
That's true.
And rankers were aware of it and stuff. So
I wish we got more of showing the home bases or the home floors of the families, because we've seen Eon. We've seen. I want to say that Mule. Love's family, the Mule family, was the 20th floor hold, because their little symbol was everywhere.
Was it? I don't. I'm gonna. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look back.
Because Ewan is 21st.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But like when I was doing a reread of like season 2, like I saw like the mule, like you know the little badge he has that like shows that it's his family. It is everywhere throughout like all the architecture and everything. Like you can even see it as like part of the wallpapers that the rooms have.
That's so interesting.
So I wish we get more of like seeing, because I want to say that Po Bia's like if the nest is on the 43rd floor, would you assume that their entire family like holds the 43rd floor? Was it 43rd? I don't even remember. 50th?
Wait. Sorry, say that again.
So like do you think Po Bia's family's like full like floor control is on the same floor as the nest?
No, I think the nest is a special thing that they have going on there. Wherever their like main family and head resides is somewhere higher up.
Okay, got it.
I think most of the reason why I say I know like some I wouldn't be surprised if some of them aren't that high up or there's somewhere special on these floors. That wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
I only say that just because I feel like maybe the level of Shinsu like density that they reside in is really high, and they keep it that way so like bums can't come in. You know,
Makes sense.
But
Because I know Karka's like entire floor is the 91st, so his is pretty high up.
what you said is actually very interesting. Now that I'm thinking about it, because Mule Love does have a contract on specifically on that floor.
Exactly.
So
The Iron Fist contract or whatever it was.
just gave me some video idea. So you know, I'll take any excuse to talk about Mule. Any.
Facts.
I don't care if I have to talk for 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes of pure joy. Chicken Love Club, we out here. But yeah, Elaine is dope. One of my favorite characters. She has one of my favorite moments in this series. That moment with Ineta, I think, was so powerful. Because I don't even think that's a moment that's highlighted. It's kind of like it just kind of.
No, it isn't. It's literally like a toss away. Like, oh, I'm dying. This is what I'm thinking of. Like,
yeah, and you could just take it like, oh, I'm dying. Hopefully you don't lose. Like, you know, like you could take it in so many ways depending on your perspective and point of view. But I think it was such a powerful moment. I think the best. I'll just say this in terms of like graphic novels, webtoons, manga, comics. I think the best creative teams, authors, and artists and whatnot put moments that are that significant without having to emphasize it. Like, oh, it's the last panel of the chapter, and it's like, Whitebeard has arrived. Like you don't have to be that demonstrative. You can just fit it in the chapter, and I could be like, damn, that was powerful.
Because someone somewhere will connect to that if it holds its weight, and in this case, it does.
So that's definitely my favorite Elaine moment. But she has one of my favorite character designs too. I like her new outfit. And listen, that juice block panel hit. I don't care.
Okay, if it does for you, it does. I don't.
There comes a point where I'll take what I could get. Elaine panel.
Facts.
Prince.
Elaine exists. All right, I'll take it.
Thank you. But yeah, I hope to see.
All right. Do you have any like final thoughts on Elaine?
I want to see more of her and like anima powers. Like I want to see her really use that and improve on it. Like it'd be cool because I'm getting very intrigued with animals right now because Sriracha's coming through with the cat and everything. Days I'm just but yeah. All
right, where can we find you, man?
You can find me at I think my channel's 90. Yeah, 90 Hemmingz is my channel. I don't know if I changed the name. 90 Hemmingz is my channel. You can find me there. Tower God content. If you like I do every Tower God, I do discussions, chapter reviews, live reactions, and like I'll do character specific stuff, scene analysis, things of that nature. Which are my favorite parts. Like if you're interested, like the latest Tower God video I'm the most proud of is my Yama one.
Facts.
That
was good.
Borns. Check that out. And on Twitter I'm Young Paperwork. They literally Young Paper and the word work. This is exactly how you can find me there on Twitter.
And then we're gonna have one more, I think, at the end of this month. So if you haven't checked out the Helljo video, it's on Nice channel. So I'll link it in the top right and of course in the description. And we'll keep you updated for what we have for the end of October for the spooky season.
Yep. Shout out Kaiser, spooky mask with the lips changing. I just kind of creepy. It's kind of off-putting a little bit, but it's cool. But all right.
All right, peace.